I'm Cordy, and this is the comparison video that you asked for, but you probably didn't really want, obviously. So, if you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching, hopefully there'll be some stuff here that you dig. If you're into modelers and guitar playing, that sort of thing. So if you wanted to like and subscribe, that'd be cool. But hopefully there'll be some stuff that's interesting. I'm not going to talk too much now, but the idea of this first experiment, or this part of the experiment, was just to set up the basic Deluxe Reverb kind of model, Fender Deluxe, on each of the modelers that I've got. So an HX Stomp, the Fractal FM3, the Atomic Amplifier, and the Hotone Ampero. I didn't get the head rush out because by the end of this I was kind of fed up of doing it. And not make any tweaks, just select the normal amp, the normal cab that would go with it, and just plug in this dot overdrive and a Strat, and just play some of the similar sort of stuff, you know, so something with a bit of drive, something clean, and some sort of random lead stuff, and see if there's anything that can be gained from doing this, if there's any learnings, or if there's anything that clearly comes out as sounding better than the rest. So I'm going to play all the clips now, and then I'll come back at the end to give my thoughts and why I probably won't do this sort of thing again. For me, what I think this shows is there's not really any device to me which stands out and goes, I'm way better than everything else. If you do read forums and comments and stuff, a lot of the time there is this superiority thing for certain devices and certain devices that are always considered inferior. But I guess take on what a Deluxe Reverb sounds like from each of the manufacturers seems to be pretty differing. And the default settings that come with it, you know, the Fractal FM3 for instance seems to be setting the thing on the edge of breakup. You know, the Hotone Ampero was really clean. The HX Stomp, again, sort of less headroom than the Ampero. So everything is going to be slightly different. So in terms of tone matching devices, I don't really think there's much point in doing that sort of stuff at all. And then when it comes down to modelers themselves, I think, and this is what I'm starting to maybe think, the modeler you have, and this is a comment that someone actually left on one of my YouTube videos, that I think they said something like, I'm starting to think that the modeler you have is the best one, if that makes sense. So, you know, if you've already got an HX Stomp and you're getting tones that you like out of it, or you've already got an Axe Effects or something like that, the most important thing really is how you get on with the interface for each of these things. Although to me, there does seem to be like a bit of the delays and reverbs in the FM3 and the Helix I really like, and I think they're a little bit of a step up from the Headrush or the Ampero, and probably the Kemper's also got a bit of a leg up on those two devices. In terms of amp modelling, personally I don't think I could pick one out of a bunch, although a lot of modelling companies, whoever they are, it's in their best interest to say that modelling has, you know, been revolutionised every time that they bring out a new device. I think we're actually seeing smaller step changes than what is marketed, if that makes sense. So can you get great tones out of a Line 6 pod? Possibly. Can you get great tones out of an FM3? Definitely. But it's also true that you do have to do a bit of work with each of these devices to get the best out of them. So the more important thing to me is, can you do the work comfortably on those devices? So in terms of interface, I think the Helix wins. The FM3 is a little bit more complicated, but once you get your head around that interface, can be cool. The Amplifire is, to me, one of the more difficult interfaces to use. You've got like I'll just get this. You've got this small screen and this one knob to kind of navigate through menus, and you've got to go through every menu to get through. So you can go like amp, then cab, then etc. And it's quite a lot of work to even just turn on a reverb. So from that point of view, I think the interface of the amplifier really is kind of the most difficult to navigate, and for me the least inspiring. And I don't think you can really do much in terms of signal routing, or routing, however you want to say that. And the Ampero, again, the interface is, I've not spent as much time with it as everything else, or as much time as with the FM3 or the Helix, but it's a bit more limited. However, it's not a chore to use it. So those are some of my thoughts on this modelling stuff. Is there any clear winner with all of this? For me, not really. And if you're spending lots of time wondering, you know, will this next modeler be a complete step change from what I already have? If you really know how to use any one of them, I think the answer is probably not. The big thing with the Iridium, which I'm still waiting on to get back from repair, I think is that it kind of takes away some of this, you know, tweaking stuff, which is certainly something that I know some people really liked about it. You know, the Deluxe Reverb, I think, sounds probably better than any of these straight out of the box. And it's easier to find that tone anyway because it's just there on the face of the device. So that's, I guess, where simplicity could win out. Now, can I set up a reverb, a delay, compressor and a drive pedal and all that stuff with the Strymon Iridium? No, but then that's not what it's for, I guess. So yeah, well, it'd be nice to get the Iridium back for this sort of stuff, you know, when you just want to quickly plug in like a Deluxe Reverb or a Vox sound and you're more interested in what the pedal's doing than the core tone of the actual modeler. But yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a ramble, innit? Sorry about that. This video was for Doug as he was interested. I don't know if it's particularly very useful, but the this is why I'm struggling with the idea of doing these A/B comparisons too much now, and really what I want to concentrate on is trying to get good solid tones out of each, which when you're doing, you know, 4 devices side by side is a bit more difficult, a bit more of a challenge. So that was the stock kind of default settings for a Deluxe Reverb on all the devices and how they compare, and probably you'll agree they're quite drastically different. So yeah, hope that was useful. If you did find that at all interesting or useful, there's a buy me a coffee link if you do get useful stuff out of the channel and you wanted to make a one-off kind of thank you donation type thing. Feel free to do that, but only do it if you can afford it, and if you found any of this kind of useful and interesting. I don't think it's really groundbreaking, but to me, you're getting marketed a lot of information about these modelers and stuff, but I don't necessarily think there's like a big quick win by buying anything else if you've already got one of the kind of recent fairly good ones.